All right, welcome everyone to AI for Small Business, practical tools to work smarter, not harder. We have our very own Boston business mentor and marketing chair, Rob Stutzman. So as we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about BBM, just in case you are unfamiliar. Rob, let's go to the next slide there for me. Great. So our goal is small business education. We do that in multiple different ways. One through our webinars and workshops. We have a couple different styles. We have our webinars. We have strategic roundtables. We do have a few in-person workshops, and we have some networking type events. So networking type events are often paired with some sort of learning activity as well. So those are advertised on our website, through our newsletters, and of course, posted to social media. Resources, we have a lot of great resources for you. We have templates you can download, business plans, marketing plans, financial documents, different things through our resources tab on our website. Also, call your attention to the blogs. Our blogs are great. We have so many great articles. Some are written by our Boston business mentors, and some of them are written by partners. Articles that are really, for now, things that are happening now. And we even have some that are even more industry specific. So lots of really great articles. We are also started adding blogs. So if you have a few minutes, you're looking for something to do, why don't you check that out? The most important thing, without a doubt, has always been our mentoring. Our mentors are volunteers. We have over 40 mentors. They have a range of skill sets and experiences and are ready to help you. They can play whatever role it is that you need. If you just need a sounding board, if you need someone to help you find resources to overcome a challenge, if you need someone to help you plan for a specific goal. And we're there to meet you where you are. If you are just getting started or if you're ready to leave that business, we have people that can help you. So I'm going to go ahead and let Rob take it over from here.
All right. Thank you, Teresa, and good day, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar on what I am sure is a busy Friday for you. But thanks for coming. Um, Three questions before we get started. I like to get to know my audience. And so Teresa's going to bring up a poll. And we just want to get a feel for what AI tools are you currently using? Um, and then when you've registered that, how are you using the AI tools? Are you using it for marketing? Are you using it for research? Are you using it for documentation? There's a variety of different ways that people are using AI. How are you currently using it? And then you can put that in the chat. And then the other thing you put in the chat is what do you hope to get out of this presentation? We want to tailor our content to you so that you can walk away with feeling that it was time well served to be here. All right. So with that, do we have some results, Teresa? Okay. ChatGPT, the leader, with Google right on their heels. Microsoft Copilot, very close with Gemini. Grok is a newcomer. It's not surprising that people have not caught on to Grok. Claude is all over the news because of its ongoing, competition with ChatGPT. So more people are aware of Claude and are using Claude. Perplexity also is a very popular tool, primarily with the technical community, but it's finding its way into just general use as well. And for those that mentioned or selected other, I would love to know what AI tool are you using? There may be one out there that I wasn't aware of. Okay, and then Teresa in the chat, do we have how people are using it?
I don't have a how, but I have a what they're hoping to get out of today.
Okay.
So Judith wants to learn about Copilot and about how to use AI summaries in Zoom and or fact, I don't know that one. Factium? I don't know. Um, And then Tabitha asks or talks about, oh, she uses it for forms, SOPs, email composition. Somebody else uses it with FaceTime.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's called
um,
Semptium.
huh?
It's called Semptium. Is that the tool?
Oh, the first one I said, FACTEIM.
Okay.
Unless that's meant to be FaceTime and it's just mistyped. Unless it's mistyped. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I use it for everything somebody else said, business, home questions. That was a typo. Yes, thanks, Judith. Okay. I thought I was going crazy. I don't know. Okay.
It's
Um,
Friday.
yeah. Yeah, I use it for editing, travel planning, marketing, product descriptions, learning about materials, processes, and trends. So, yeah, we have some people that are using it for quite a variety of different things. This is great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Um, so we hope to address all of that within the presentation, but if we don't, there'll be Q&A at the end, so please bring it up again. All right, a little bit about myself. I've been in business for over 40 years, 30 of which was with Verizon, where I led global teams and marketing initiatives. I retired in 2019, and when I retired, I founded an LLC where I do digital marketing consulting. And I also started volunteering in mentoring. And with the organization, I eventually became the marketing and the social media chair. So I get to eat my own cooking. Um, so there's my email. Be happy to, if you have any questions after the uh, presentation, by all means, send an email. Love to dialogue with you. And you can always find me on LinkedIn as well. So the agenda, we're going to do a short history of AI. We're going to talk about what is generative AI. We're going to talk about some generative AI tools and creation. We're going to talk about why AI is important now. And we're going to show you some operational applications. And we get to the fun part, which is the demonstrations. So when it all began, artificial intelligence is not new. It's been around since 1943, when there were just early ideas about thinking machines. In 1950, Alan Turing published The Computing Machinery and Intelligence and proposed the Turing test. That got things moving. And then in 1956, John McCarthy coined the term artificial intelligence at a Dartmouth conference. So New England had a hand in the development of artificial intelligence. And so how was it used back then? It was focused on playing chess and checkers, solving math problems, creating basic language translation and logical reasoning. Um, but how is it used today? Today in daily life, uh, you've been using artificial intelligence for years. You may not have realized it, but you've been using artificial intelligence for years. Voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, that's artificial intelligence. Face recognition on your iPhone, that's artificial intelligence. Photo tagging that you do on social media, that's artificial intelligence. And spam filtering from your email providers, that's artificial intelligence in action. In the transportation arena, self-driving cars, which we know about, traffic prediction and navigation systems all incorporate artificial intelligence. In healthcare, medical imaging, drug discovery, and patient monitoring all have elements of artificial intelligence built within it. And in business and marketing, customer chatbots, which we're all familiar with, recommendation systems, fraud detection, predictive analytics, all incorporate artificial intelligence. And then creativity and work, writing tools, image generation, music composition and coding assistance. So we've been using artificial intelligence for a long time. But what is generative AI? Generative AI is artificial intelligence that learns from examples and then produces original content that looks human made. That's the new behind artificial intelligence. And they've brought, so instead of just analyzing and classifying information, it generates something new. How it works, it studies millions or billions of examples. It learns patterns in language and images or sounds, and it uses those patterns to predict and create new content. Uh, you know, when generative AI came on the scene back in 2022, it pro- it was the first time that artificial intelligence was given to everybody, and everybody could use it to create things. And so that's why ChatGPT skyrocketed in terms of use. And within about a 6 month time frame, they had 150 million users on the platform, and it's only continued to grow since then. With generative AI, you can create text, you can create articles, emails, sermons, poems. You can create images, artwork, logos, illustrations. You can create audio. You can create music or voiceovers. You can create video. Video is the newest of the new, where you can create clips and animations. It can create code, where it can provide programs and scripts. You probably have been reading about the massive layoffs that are happening within companies, and a lot of the layoffs are software engineers and software developers. That's because the companies are turning to artificial intelligence to do what humans used to do. And then within the arena of data, it can provide simulated reports and models. It can still do that good old analysis that we did before. So here are the top 10 generative AI tools. ChatGPT, number one. Google Gemini, number two. That's the way you guys had it in the poll. Claude comes in at number three. Microsoft Copilot comes in after them, and then Perplexity, and then there's just the rest of the people below that. But the top six or five, the top five, excuse me, and we should probably throw in Grok somewhere in there. They are the AI tools that people are most using today within their businesses. So why now? Why is it so important? It's been hyped. It's been hyped since 2022. And the reason it's important is because 78% of businesses now use AI technology, and 47% of them see a measurable return on investment within the first year. And 66% believe that AI adoption is essential to stay competitive. Competitors, they're rapidly adopting AI solutions. The customer expectations are evolving with the AI capabilities, and early adopters are gaining significant market advantages. And you can just see the graph on the right what the AI adoption rate is. It's just continuing to grow. Whereas today, 70% of small businesses are using AI and plan to use AI for significant growth. And the bottom line is that without a strategic plan, AI plan, businesses risk falling behind in efficiency, customer experience, and market competitive. It's the FOMO, it's the fear of missing out. And so we'll talk a little bit about some things you can do to address that. There's different areas of the business where AI can bring improvements. Certainly, there's operational efficiencies that it can provide. There's cost savings. There's enhanced decision making. As small business owners, a lot of times it's just you, and when it comes time to make decisions, it can be hard to pull in other people, or you just have to make them yourself. With AI, you can now put that concern into the tool, and the tool will give you its opinion and help you make a decision. Customer experience, you probably have been noticing that chatbots have been getting better. They are understanding what you're needing, and they're coming back and giving you information, and it's hitting the mark much more than it used to. That's because of the generative AI that's happening in the background. Competitive advantages, as far as market positioning and innovation, revenue growth. We're going to show you a demo of a tool that can actually produce revenue for you. Looking forward to that. Time savings. You think about the necessary but mundane tasks that you have to do. If there's a tool out there that can help streamline that and provide you with time savings, that's time you can use addressing other parts of your business or doing the parts of your business that you really like doing. Um, there's scalability and growth with generative AI, and there's risk mitigation in terms of what the information that it provides can help you with. One of the early applications, in fact, we're using it on the webinar today, is note taking. You know, these tools when you jump on Zoom calls now, these tools in the background that says, you know, I'm Rob's note taker, or I'm you know, Alice's note taker. They're what they're doing is they're doing more than just a transcript. They're taking and inputting the information, and then at the end of the call, they're giving back to you the information in an organized fashion. You know, transcripts, a lot of times conversations can go in any variety of different directions, and transcripts can be just as confusing because they just take everything in chronological order. With AI, it takes notes and then it comes back and provides you with that note. And the note-taking tool I use is called Fathom. Fathom takes the information and gives it back to me in bulleted fashion, which I love because I just love scanning through the notes. I don't have to know the verbose narrative of the meeting and have it all rehashed. I just need to know what were the highlights, what were the main points, and I'm good to go. Um, there's cost savings. You know, you think about, you know, we do a lot of mentoring sessions. Our mentoring sessions last, you know, around 60 minutes. If we do note transcription ourselves outside of AI, we have to be taking notes while the conversation is going on. And people can only focus on one thing at a time. So if you're focused on taking notes, what somebody just said, you're not focused on, you know, having that conversation, or it's clunky. With AI, it's in the background. You have a conversation. You just have a conversation with people. You have your question and answer period, and so at the end, you're doing it yourself. You got to take that information, process it. It's going to take you 30 minutes, probably. It takes me longer, but it's going to take you around 30 minutes. If you use AI, AI gives it to you at the end of the call. You know, if it takes me more than 10 minutes, then I did something wrong, because it's, you know, it's very quick, and I can take and put it into the CRM system. It's just a quick copy paste, and I'm done. Um, so 20 minutes of total time savings, more detailed notes, 66% of time savings on note transcription, and better client engagement. I can just have a conversation. And my clients, I send them the notes after the call. They love it because they go, I'm so glad you send the notes after the call because it keeps me organized and it gets them ready for when we have the next call. So measuring return on investment, you know, time savings or cost reduction or revenue impact or customer satisfaction or employee productivity or data quality. You know, a 20% increase in customer retention rates for businesses using chatbots. You know, so using a chatbot can increase your customer retention rate by 20%. 30% productivity improvements when teams properly implement AI tools. And one of the good things that's happening today is you see other tools coming out that are incorporating the generative AI tools, but they're doing a wraparound and they're providing capability that gives you a variety of different functions and applications. So you don't have to go from, you know, this tool to that tool to that tool. And I'm going to show you a demonstration of that later on. So speaking of demos, first thing I wanted to just show you is a marketing statement. So you know, have to market your business, and you perhaps might be looking for a way to plan for your marketing campaign, and you may be looking for some guidance. You can you know, certainly come to us. We can provide input to you, but you can also turn to the generative AI, and you can put in information in there. And I'm just going to go over to my old friend here, ChatGPT. And you can see here's the prompt I put in, create a 4-week content calendar for a boutique fitness studio in Danbury, Connecticut. Show how the social posts, email newsletters, and one blog topic can work together to attract new customers and retain current ones. In a matter of seconds, I mean, they sometimes put up, how long it took to provide the answer, but it was literally in a matter of seconds. I've got a whole plan before me, complete with planning for the week and how many emails and how many blogs and how many social posts. Um, it gives me some suggested topics that I could use for the blog or for the email campaign or for social media. And for week 2, it gives me some additional input, week 3, week 4, and then tells me how it all works together. Someone sees a transformation post on social, they click to read the blog about results, they join the email list and get a success story email, and then they do the call to action, which is to join the 4-week challenge. So, and then at the end, what it will do is it will give me some suggestions. It'll say, if you like, I could turn this into a downloadable Excel calendar. And I'll click on it. It'll come back with an Excel calendar. Everything planned out for me. I didn't have to type it in. It took the information, put it in the Excel uh, spreadsheet for me, and I just have to execute. So that's a marketing example. Uh, the next one I wanted to show you was a legal example. Um, Generative AI can be a powerful tool for synthesizing and creating executive summaries of uploaded documents. Believe it or not, Apple's licensing agreement, which I'm sure we all have read on our iPhones and our iPads, is 573 pages. I took that document and I uploaded it into ChatGPT, and it was able to synthesize the information and produce a 1-page executive summary in a matter of seconds. And I just want to show you that here. Go to the top. Here's the document. I obviously didn't type the document in, or I didn't copy paste the information. I just uploaded the document. It went through, it analyzed it, and I asked it, can you synthesize it for you? Give me a summary, and it came back with an executive summary. And I could understand what the agreement is about. I can understand the purpose and scope. I can understand licensing rights. I can understand if there are any key restrictions, any automatic updates with data use, any Apple services and third-party content, any Apple Pay and wallet terms, et cetera, termination, warranties, disclaimers, limitations, you know, much less, okay, it's probably a few pages, but much less than 573 pages if I had to sit there and read through the contract on my own. You may have contracts within your business, whether it be vendors you're dealing with, or whether you have contracts that you present to your clients out there. You can certainly take those documents, put it into a generative AI tool of choice, and ask it to synthesize and summary, and it'll come back and it will give you that information. And then you can turn that information over to your attorney and just make sure that, or prepare yourself for your meeting with your attorney by having a nice synthesized and summary of the contract before you talk with her or talk with your client, so you can understand your negotiation stance with them. The next one I wanted to show you is an IT example. And I selected Zoom, and I said, can you provide step-by-step instructions for setting up a Zoom conference call and write it for a neophyte? So make it very basic. And I put the information in the tool. Go to the top, and you can see it gives me that step by step, whether I'm on Windows or a Mac or an iPhone or an iPad or an Android. Uh, I could do it on a Zoom app. I could do it on a right now instant link. I can invite people. I can start the meeting and basic controls during the call. Conference call features, common beginner hiccups, a simple invite message you can copy and paste. And if you tell me where you're doing this, whether it's on a Windows or Mac or a phone or an iPod, and whether you want dial-in phone access, they can tailor the steps exactly to your setup. So the more information you put into the tool, the better the result. The resulting information is going to be that you get out of the tool. So be as specific as you can with the tools. Now, IT is not just Zoom calls. IT could be computer issues. I'm having an issue with my computer. Well, uh, getting support these days with a human is getting more and more difficult because more and more companies are having people either go to a chatbot or go to a link, and they're interacting with a computer, and sometimes it just doesn't understand what you're saying, and it gives you information that isn't helpful. With ChatGPT or any generative AI tool, you can put that issue into the tool and say, what do I do? How can I fix this? And it will come back and it will tell you how to fix it. And I've done it with some things that I go, and I think I'm, fairly technical, and it comes back with things like, I never knew that the software could do that. So you'll learn things. You'll learn things about your IT infrastructure as you do that. Okay, here's the fun one I wanted to get to. What's happening today within the world of AI is you're getting companies that are coming out with platforms, and the platforms are incorporating AI, and Marbleism is one of those. You know, Today, a lot of small business people use virtual assistants. They use the virtual assistants to do social media or newsletters, the things that you need to do but don't have time to do. With Marbleism, you get a virtual team, and there's personas. Eva is my executive assistant. She takes notes during meetings and she drafts emails. If I don't have time to respond, she'll draft an email and I can look it over and send it out. Sonny's the community manager, which he does social media. He's my favorite because I'll come to him and say, Sonny, what have you got for me today? And he'll come back with usually about 5 different ideas for a post that I can do on social media. When I select it, then he comes back not only with the text, he comes back with photographs, and he posts it to my social media platforms. He'll post it to LinkedIn, he'll post it to Facebook, he'll post it to Instagram, he'll post it to Google Business Profile, and X. It's terrific. Stan is your revenue generator. What Stan does is Stan goes out based on what you're looking for. Stan goes out and he starts finding people, and he delivers the information back to you. And he'll say, and what you'll get with the information is you'll get the individual's name, you'll get their email address, you'll get their website address, and you'll get their LinkedIn address. And so you can then, if you have to do some, cold emailing, it helps make it a little warmer because hopefully Stan has brought somebody that can use your particular good or service. Rachel is the receptionist. When you call up, she says, "Hi, welcome to Boston Business Mentors. How may I help you?" If you say, "I'd like to talk to Rob," she'll go 1 minute, and she'll then transfer the call to my cell phone. So I get with the platform, I get a business telephone number. She'll transfer the call to my cell phone, and I can take it live. If I don't want to take it, she'll come back and say, I'm sorry, he's not available. Is there anything I can do for you? You could say, yes, I'd like to set up an appointment with him. She'll go, 1 second, let me check his calendar. She'll check my calendar. And then she'll come back and say, it looks like he's got availability next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Will that work for you? You can say, yes, it'll work for me. And oh, by the way, I want to meet at Starbucks and he's paying for the coffee. So she'll take all that information down. She'll repeat it back to them, make sure she got it right. And then when the call is ended, she'll send me an email that says, hey, just want to let you know, I received a call from George. He wants to meet with you next Tuesday. You're going to meet at Starbucks. And oh, by the way, you're paying for the coffee. Really a wonderful way for you to be bigger than you are, or the perception of being bigger than you are. You can have a receptionist pick up your calls and deliver calls. Um, Linda's a legal assistant. I don't use Linda all that much, but she can, if I have a legal question or two, I can run it by her and she can provide me with information from a legal perspective. And then Penny is the blog writer. So she is creating articles that I can then put on my blog, on my website, and that helps with the SEO, the search engine optimization. And what's wonderful about all of these people is they all work together. I've had situations where I've asked Sonny a question. He goes, that's a really great question. Let me ask Penny and see what she has. He goes, asks Penny, comes back, and gives me the information that Penny gave him. So it's really quite amazing what these folks are doing. In fact, one night, 10:30 at night, I tapped Sonny. I said, Sonny, what have you got for me today? We got to post something. And he came back with some ideas, and I picked the one I wanted, and then we set it up for posting. And at the end of the chat, I said, Sonny, you are awesome. And he came back and said, oh, you're making my circuits blush. Talk to them like you would talk to another human being. Another uh, example is a podcast. Podcasts are very popular today. They require a lot of work to set up. There's a tool out there from Google called Notebook LM, where it does a variety of things, but one of the things it does is it will create podcasts. And all you have to do is put content into the tool, and it will process the content and come back with two people talking about your content. And if you try it, you'll be amazed at the quality. In fact, we've got a podcast on our website. If you go click on it, you can listen to the voices, and you'll be just amazed that these sound like two humans that are talking back and forth. And that can, again, differentiate yourself from the competition that's out there, and make it fun to do business with you. Um, so, key takeaways from our time. The first thing is dive in. Now, I know there are issues related to security. I know there's issues related to intellectual property. I know there are issues related to copywriting. All that is going to work itself out in the courts. In the meantime, uh, the good far outweighs the bad. And the more you dig in and get familiar with the capability of the tools and tools like Marbleism, just dive in. Don't be afraid. You can't break anything, and just get familiar with it. Embrace the technology. Every new technology that comes along has its early adopters, its mid adopters, and its late adopters. Where are you on the scale? I'm an early adopter. I dove in very early. Other people need time, just they want to make sure that it's legit before they jump in, and some people just wait forever to jump in. Don't be the third category. Be at least one or two. Um, Trust the output, but verify. The tools today are coming with a disclaimer that uh, AI tools can sometimes make mistakes. One of the mistakes that AI tools will do is that if they don't have an answer because they want to please you, they'll make up an answer and deliver it to you. Now you can uh, avoid that by putting into your prompt what you want, and at the end of the prompt say, and do not hallucinate. And it will make sure that it doesn't provide information that isn't true or isn't actual. Um, and, we talk to AI like you're talking or you're having a conversation. You don't have to have any special training, any special coding. You don't have to know program language. You just have to know how to write prompts. And writing prompts is an art unto itself, but it's not that hard. Um, when you get around to saying, okay, I'm ready to implement this into my business, the best place to start is to focus on those mundane tasks and create efficiencies around that. When I talk to my clients, it's usually about sales and marketing issues. And what I hear very often from people is they say, I've got to be posting things to my website and to social media, but I don't have the time, or I can't think of ideas, or I'm not a very good writer. Um, you know, uh, it's something. It's a mundane activity that you really don't want to do, but you feel like you have to do. Well, put that information into a generative AI tool and see what it produces. You'll be amazed at the quality that you get coming back, and then you'll be equally amazed at the efficiency and how fast you can get that information posted, and how you can get the information in front of your potential clients out there. Determine where you need to improve first. There's a variety of different areas that these tools can provide you help with. Where do you need the most improvement at the moment? And then keep up with the latest trends and developments. I mean, the train has left the station, but the train is running at about 800 miles an hour. There's new things coming out, new developments coming out every single day, if not every single hour. Of things that are occurring within these platforms and greater features that they're providing. And it's only going to get better. And it's only going to get more user friendly than it is today because they're listening to their clients out there and they're adopting their tools to make sure that they can get even more clients on board as a result. So that's the end of my prepared statements. I guess, Teresa, do we have
Yeah,
any
we
questions that have come in?
We do have questions. I do want to say that thank you slide is up there. There's a QR code to request a mentor if you'd like to do that. And if you are interested in donating to our webinar program, so we can keep offering these for free, you're welcome to do that as well. So questions. And I know this is one that we've talked about as volunteers quite a bit. Meeting apps for AI note taking other than Zoom and Google Meet.
I mentioned Fathom.
Yeah.
If you're an Apple user, you might want to check out fireflies.ai. Um, there's another one called otter.ai that's very popular. Um, you could check that one out. If I think of any more off the top of my head. Those are the big ones that are out there.
Those are the big ones. Okay. Pricing on Marbleism. Only $24 a month. Is that for real? Plus a fee per seat. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Marbleism has three pricing tiers. You can do a month to month. If you go month to month, it's going to cost you about $50 a month. You can go quarter to quarter, and then the quarter to quarter will cost you about $35 a month. Or you can buy an annual subscription. If you buy an annual subscription, they'll charge you $250, which is about, $25 a month.
Okay. So yeah. What is the best I AI tools for a virtual assistant?
Uh, I love Marbleism. Outside of that, I would say, you know, put that into your generative AI tool and see what it comes back with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do your research. Just because this one works for us, doesn't mean it's going to apply to your business. So you definitely want to do your research on that.
Yeah,
Um,
and by the way, I'm not a paid endorser of
yeah,
Marbleism.
yeah.
I'm just a very happy customer.
And I also did throw in a webinar we have coming up in a couple days that is kind of a complement to this one. It's using AI to write some of the tools you need to function on a daily basis. It's going to be really interesting, so definitely consider that. Oh, it says you should be a paid endorser. I'll have to look into that. Add it to your
Thank you.
current wage of 0. Okay. I don't see any more questions, so I will be sending out a follow-up email. We will have the recording. Do you have a handout for that as well, Rob, that we'll be sending in the follow-up?
Yes. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. So your parting gift for attending the webinar today is that we will be sending you a generative AI buying guide where we're going to take the top six. We've taken the top six. We'll show you the features you get with their free version. We'll show you the features you get with their paid version. And we'll give you use cases. We'll give you ideas about how the different tools can be used for different things within the business. It's about 40 pages. So, but it's a good read once you get through it. You'll walk away with a bunch of different ideas about how you can use AI.
Okay. So we'll get that out to you maybe later today, potentially for sure on Monday. So watch for that information. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Rob, for giving your time on this great topic. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.